Hey, what's good, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazzo coming at you with some new album reviews. And today I am checking out the return of one of the heaviest and I don't say sludgiest, but grindiest death metal bands that have been around for the past 15 years. I think they've had an absence of 7 years. They haven't put out a new album in like 7 years. And that band is Nails with their new album Every Bridge Burning. So, like I said, Nails is a hardcore slash grindcore, a little bit of death metal band based out of California, and this is the main project from the guitarist Todd Jones. He's been in a lot of bands throughout the years in the hardcore metal scene. He's produced a lot of music. One of the most famous bands he's been in it was Terror and other bands like Internal Affairs. And this is the first album they put out in the past 7 years. Also, with a new lineup too, there was some change in the band members where pretty much everyone left except for Todd Jones, and he restructured the band. And yeah, so I'm excited to talk about this and give you my insights of what I felt about this album. The album is called Every Bridge is Burning, and with this album, pretty much all the tracks here are straight fire and literally burning things up with how intense the riffs are, how groovy the bass is, and how intense the vocals are, and how blistering fast the drumming is. Like in the short 17 minutes you get on this record, you're just gonna get some fantastic Powerviolence and grindcore style playing here. And like I said, this band is very impressive, and I think like can a band or an artist be so good at their craft that it can come off as bland? And I want to say the first couple of tracks on this album, they are just so in the pocket. They sound really good, but because I've heard them sound so good like this, it kind of felt a little bit bland in a weird way. Like it's like, oh, you guys are so good at this, and they weren't changing things up too much. I was just like, oh, this is it, kind of. And so I think a good example of that is on the track Punishment Map. For some reason, it's good, it's solid, but it just didn't really resonate in me. It just didn't really pop off as a very new and inspiring track, I felt like. So I'll play a clip of that for you. Like it has everything that a Powerviolence band needs. They sound great, well produced, but it felt like something was lacking on that particular track. Now, I don't know if it's because they did a different type of tuning with the guitars, recorded things differently, the drumming was different. Just something felt off in the first couple of songs, in the first half of the album. Things just felt a little bit off, but I would say the back end of the album just felt so good. It had enough experimentation to it, but also groove and just that right amount of nails Powerviolence I was looking for. However, I will say by track, I think it was at 5 or at least at 4, the title track, Every Bridge Burn, and lacking the ability to process empathy, something about the band, something about this record turned around and they were able to like bring that nails power and just intensity that I was kind of looking for, and it felt like the album came more alive at this point. So I want to play a clip of lacking the ability for empathy to showcase that like oomphness that they brought with this track. Something about it, they're able to grab your attention, just hold it right now. On the lyric side of this album, it's pretty typical in terms of like Nails' presentation, talking about betrayal, remorse, and pain. And most Powerviolence, that's what they talk about. And I think how things are written here, they are either very, very straightforward, like on the song Give Me the Painkiller, or a little bit more abstract on like I Can't Turn It Off. And with those intense lyrics, you get some really good and intense and very, very groovy drums that really complement the way he's singing here and playing the guitar, especially on the song I Can't Turn It Off. The drums, the new drummer is just killing it, just laying it down nice and thick and just keeping that groove in the pacing very nice. So I want to play a small clip of that for you. Like, do you not hear that? Oh, just like when I said at the beginning of the album, the songs were just not hitting as right. I think what I noticed was the guitars. When you get to the back end of the album, the guitars have more of a nastier and grimy feel to it. And something about the first two tracks, they just didn't have the right amount of like grit to it, I felt like. But as the album progresses, they just get more intense and just really feel in or fall into that like nails type of play. I also like how the bass is being mixed and mastered with this album, because the bass can be really felt, and I feel like sometimes in Powerviolence bands and like grindcore bands, either bass is really absent. I think they usually might not have a bass player at all, or it gets drowned out really bad. And I think if I'm correct, I'm thinking probably Todd had some hand in recording this. I probably should have looked at that beforehand. Regardless, whoever was producing the bass and the overall sound of the album did a really good job of giving the bass some proper layering and not forgetting about it. So that was really good. So in conclusion, what I think is Nails is always able to give people what they want. The fans they want the heaviness, they want the fast, intense playing, they want that Powerviolence feel, and they know when to do it in terms of like not releasing like a crazy amount of material. They know when to drop at the right time, and it satisfies people for a very long time because they have very die-hard fans. And even though this album did start off a little rocky, they were still able to stick the landing. And I think most things, if you can stick the landing on any project, how you ever start off can always be forgiven and kind of looked at again and be able to appreciate it because you did a really good job. I'm looking at you, Game of Thrones. And so I would say this new album from Nails, pretty solid. You're getting Nails. It's nothing too new and genre pushing, but they do a good job of their sound, of that heavy, intense Powerviolence sound. And so I would say this newest album from Nails is a good, solid 8.5 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think. Check out this video I got going over here. Like they always say, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much. And like always, see you in the pit.